Hi everybody, my name's Renee. Quick testimony about my life, how I gave my life to Jesus, so how I was before I met Jesus and how my life is afterwards. I'm 21 at this point in my life. The journey started when I was about 13 going on 14. As an enthusiastic kid in school, I was quite popular, but I started to get into trouble around the ages of 13 to 14. On a particular occasion, I got really drunk in school, me and my friend, who shall not be named. So one of my mum's friends came to pick me up from school, and it turns out that this guy I will mention, his name's Uncle Pele. He picked me up, and he's a born-again Christian, and he took that opportunity to tell me about Jesus. And I was 14 years old at this time. I just got drunk at school. My head was a bit all over the place, but he still took the time to tell me about the love of God. At that time, I guess I was still a bit young to understand what that meant for me. And so therefore, I just started to do what young people do. I still hooked up with my friends. We started to smoke weed. We started to drink alcohol. We started to party. And just do those kind of things really. Before I knew it, in the ages of 14 to maybe about 18, I found myself in numerous relationships, one of which was really abusive, very manipulative, and for me, I guess that was the point where I was at my lowest, because at one point I was popular, at one point I thought I was loved, I was ambitious. The teachers told me that I'm going to amount to so much, even though my attendance was, but the teachers always said, Renee, get into school because you're going to be brilliant. But unfortunately, I didn't get the best start in life. I was in a fragmental home, and Uncle Pele, the same guy who told me about Jesus, he said, you know what, Renee, you can only be loved as much as the other person has been loved. And that was the case in the relationship, that was the case in my family home, and unfortunately that was the case for me. So I needed to experience a deeper love, basically. And so at one point I said, you know what, I'm worth more than this. And God gave me the willpower to say, you know what, no, I need to come out of this relationship and I need to start going to church. And so one service I did. And I guess many people can say that in some services God spoke directly to them, and that was also the case for me. I walked into the service 14 years old. That was the first time I went to church, when I was 14. And the service was so powerful. God was all over me. His spirit was all over me. He was speaking to my heart, and he was telling me, you know what, Renee, I know that you have done things, but I love you anyway. You have sinned, you have done wrong, but I love you anyway, and I'm ready right now to take your shame from you. And so that day I lifted up my hand and I said, you know what, God, take me as I am, please, I need you. I went up to the front and I said a prayer of salvation, and that was the most powerful moment I've ever had in my life. Better than any temporary pleasure, better than any drug, any drink. It was the best moment of my life. I just remember the choir singing, and it felt like a choir of angels surrounded me in beams of light. And when I opened my eyes, I didn't even realize that I drenched myself in my own tears. It was incredible. And so that's the story about how I gave my life to Jesus. It was on and off. It's been a rocky road. I've had spells in church and out of church, and you know what? Maybe that's you. I just want to let you know that that's okay. Sometimes we fall off, and sometimes we have to pick ourselves back up again. But the righteous fall 7 times, and the Lord will pick you up every time. Once you're saved, maybe you're not always saved, but it's never too late, and God will always take you back. And that was the case for me. And today, I'm grounded and I'm rooted in a church that prays for me, loves for me, and cares for me. The Potter's House, as you're on the website now. I'm a married woman. I'm a married woman to a wonderful man of God that loves me, cherishes me, and knows me for who I am, a woman of God, and it's amazing. So I encourage you, take a look around, but most of all, come and visit us, and I'll be there. Bye.